Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Free Agent Frenzy Wednesday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio virtual studios here in beautiful New Jersey and at the headquarters of Scotty in Beverly Hills, California. This is Devils After Dark, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Those that have made the switch over, congratulations, as everybody's piling into our live feeds right now, live chat.
What up?
There's a lot that went on today, Scotty. You've got your list in front of you.
There was a ton. There was a ton. You say free agent frenzy, Sam Wu. I think everybody in Jersey saying free agent Fugazi over here. What's going on? Johnny, Ohio. They just lost Manziel, and now they got themselves another one with Gaudreau. What's going on over here? I don't know. But yeah, how's it going? I think I just rattled my throat. My eyes are tearing right now doing the Italian guy.
Do you want me to go solo?
I'm like, where's my water? And I'm like, oh, it's all the way over there in my kitchen sink. But anyway, yeah. So I think that was the big shock today for everybody. Although we got to say apologies to our good friend Beer Baron, who might be listening right now, might not be. I think his soul was crushed a little bit today. You know, when you really want something to happen really, 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 really bad, and then you think it's going to, and all signs point to it happening, and then it doesn't, and then one of your friends is like, yes, I'm so happy that didn't happen. That was me, by the way. Sorry. Yeah. I'm one of those guys that thought $10 million is way, way too much for one epic year of Johnny Gaudreau. But either way, yes, the main man who everyone was waiting for. And by the way, hello to everyone on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live. Sam Wu and Scotty here, Devils After Dark. But the main man that everyone was waiting for is now going to be in Columbus for the next 7 years until he's 36 years old. Making $9.8 million, which is a lot of money. And I don't know. Well, I already know about you, Sam Wu, but I'm not afraid to say it. I was very happy that it turned out this way. I actually wanted Johnny Gaudreau to go to the Flyers or Islanders to completely take out their salary cap, you know, and make them so they can't basically do anything. And if he went to the Islanders, Barzal was going to come barking next year when his contract's up as a restricted free agent. But like we'll talk about with Mr. Pavel Zacha, if they signed Johnny Gaudreau next year, they weren't going to be able to fit in Barzal, which got me more excited. Yeah. It also leaves me excited with the other person in Calgary who I would much rather see on the New Jersey Devils for the foreseeable future. That is a young 24-year-old named Matthew Tkachuk, who right now, that Johnny Hockey left, might also feel like, I really do want out of here. I know I said it last year, but now I really mean it. Trade me. I wonder what team out there could really use a young power winger like that and has plenty of money and trade assets. I don't know what team could be stockpiling these for the past couple years, waiting patiently for the perfect time to use. I don't know. But if you're upset out there that Johnny Gaudreau signed with the Blue Jackets, don't be. All right? Look at his stats. He had an amazing year last year, but be wary what happened with Ilya Kovalchuk. Remember? We all remember. We had one fantastic year from Kovy where he had 80-some points. Stanley Cup Finals. Other than that, not so much. What happened after we signed Kovy? Who did we not have money for? our homegrown boy who we all wanted to sign on the team, and we saw him walk to Minnesota. Why? Because we couldn't afford his buddy on defense as well.
Well, I mean, we couldn't even afford to pay our bills, actually, at that time.
At that point, yeah. We couldn't
even
pay
the electric bill. Yeah.
Oh, Vanderbeek. But I'll tell you that the food in the arena when Vanderbeek ran it, when they had the Hobie's Deli, oh, man. It was all those individual stands. It was so good. But either way, what happened when we signed Mr. Taylor Hall? TH9. I loved him. I loved Kovalchuk, by the way, too, when he was on the team until he retired on us and we're still paying for him. This is actually a Kovalchuk jersey right here. I just will never turn it around so anyone can see that particular 17. And I hang it up there because I don't wear it anymore because I feel it's cursed, even though I love that green jersey. Anyway, we all know what happened with Taylor Hall. We had an MVP year. Fantastic. What happened after that? Taylor Hall wants to go to the playoffs. Devils had to make some moves that they probably shouldn't have, and it screwed up the rebuild. Part of it cost Ray Shiro's job.
I told you to be patient. Just be patient. You Devils fans don't know the value of patience. I tried to get Josh to give us his helicopter to get Johnny to New Jersey. Didn't work out. So just be patient.
See,
I don't know how we get this type of content, but
it really is amazing. I mean, those are just very, very thoughtful words from the owner right there. To be patient. But stick with me here. We all had a great season with Taylor Hall, and then what happened? It all collapsed on us. Okay? So we haven't had the best track record lately with the superstar wingers. And I don't want to see us just like throw everything to the side because Johnny Hockey got a taste of the playoffs and wants to win the cup right now. Yeah, we would all love it, but we all realize that we have some prospects who are still developing. And also, and like this is a thing. Look at Patrick Kane right now. Patrick Kane, by the way, you probably wouldn't believe this. He is only 33 years old. When people talk, you just yawning away on me there, Sam Wu, because I'm talking about Patrick Kane. Is that what's going on?
No, I just had a long day and I took myself off of camera. I forgot to mute myself. Sorry, dude.
Thanks, Sam Wu. Man, wow. Well, so much for my monologue. No, but think about it. Patty Kane, that contract is an albatross to the Chicago Blackhawks right now. And Patty Kane had 3 cups to him. Johnny Gaudreau did not have any, and we're going to give him that Patty Kane money for a longer period of time. Johnny Gaudreau is turning 29 in less than a month, like August the something. So that means he would be locked up. He's going to be locked up in Columbus. We don't know. At least I didn't see. I don't know what the financials were of the Devils deal. I know Lou was in there because it was quiet. So I know there was some Lou negotiating going on. Every Devil fan should know when things get really quiet, that means Mr. Lamoriello is on the prowl and something is going on there. But looking at those numbers, 9.8 for 7 years, we had all heard about the Calgary offer of 10. So I think everyone was expecting it to be in exceeding that amount. And it turns out to be a little bit lower than that $10 million offer, which makes me happy that Tom Fitzgerald did not get into a bidding war where we ended up going into the 10 millions, 10.5, 10.6 or something like that, for 7 years, trying to outbid Lou, trying to outbid, the Flyers, which, hey, we all know Johnny is from South Jersey. He's not from Central Jersey or North Jersey where most of the Devils fans are located. He's from Flyer country down there in South Jersey. He grew up a Flyers fan. His top choice was to play for the Philadelphia Flyers. It makes my cousins very happy, because they're all from Philly. But they didn't have cap room. I thought maybe they might pull some things. You saw that they bought out Lindholm In the beginning of the day, you thought they might make some other moves that they could tie. That James Van Riemsdyk. Oh man, what's he at? Like $7 million a year? That's another contract.
Killer.
As well. It's just
Killer.
albatross. But I would love to see Johnny Hockey down there for $10 million, tying up so much money with JVR and Kevin Hayes and all them. That would have been fantastic because it would have handicapped the Flyers and what they could do. Same thing with the Islanders. Like I said, if they sign Johnny Hockey, Barzal is gone next season. Gone. Because he's at $7 million now. He puts up a good season. Look what Johnny Hockey did. Johnny Hockey, by the way, had 2 very mediocre seasons prior to last one. Last year, obviously, a career year for him. 115 points, 40 goals. I think he had. Was he right on the money with 40? Somewhere around 40-ish goals. And him and Tkachuk both had 40 in the 40-ish range there. Do I expect Johnny Hockey to be a 115-point player every season? No, I don't. Do I think he'll get back to that number again? Honestly, I'm not wishing the guy bad, but no, I don't. I think it was just one of those magical seasons for him, much like we got that big bad season from Taylor Hall. I don't know if Johnny Hockey is like a Connor McDavid or an Austin Matthews like that. Could be. Guess we'll find out because he's going to have a test in Columbus, really driving the force of that offense. But it wouldn't surprise me to see, maybe he gets to 100 points. He had one season of 99. Then he had the 115. I think he had another one in like the low 80s. 10 mil. It would have been 10 mil a season for that 115-point season. And Tom Fitzgerald has said all along he wants our team to be younger. Giving a 7-year, that's another thing too. I'm wondering if, Lou and Fitzy, they don't like going to those long-term contracts. I'm wondering if they were saying 6 years and that's it. We're not budging. We're not going an extra thing, and maybe they were only offering about $9 million or $8 million. I can maybe see that in like the $8 million range. Now, of course, agents are going to fight and try to get stuff. Was there a report of an actual offer?
Pierre LeBrun said the Devils did make an offer to Johnny Gaudreau. I believe it was 7 years north of $9 million AAV.
So they did do 7 years. Well, that's, I don't know about Pierre LeBrun. Okay. Maybe they did.
But,
I know that's always been a sticking point in the past for both Fitzgerald and Lou Lambs, not wanting to go extra long on those guys. And plus, like I said, Johnny's turning 29 next month. Our whole thing has always been getting younger and younger and younger. If we get these older guys, it's usually just on 1-2-year deal, like we're going to talk about with Brendan Smith, but picking up Eric Halla as well, sending Pavel Zacha out. We'll talk about that. And obviously, we may have a new heir apparent to Lindy Ruff and Andrew Burnett. But tell me, Sam Wu, am I way off? I know Devils fans, what's up? YouTube Live, Twitter Live, Facebook Live. I know some of you probably highly disagree with me, and that's quite okay. Like I said, I think Beer Baron is literally crying somewhere because he's wanted for years. He's like, Johnny Hockey, baby. We want to get Johnny Hockey. We're going to get Johnny Hockey over here back in Jersey. I'm like, Beer Baron, he's a Flyers fan. It doesn't matter. He's from Jersey, and he's Johnny Hockey. Well,
Mikey McLeod,
you tell me.
Made it on the team.
Give me Tkachuk, okay? I'll pass on Gaudreau. Give me Tkachuk. That's what I want. I hope Tkachuk is requesting a trade. He will be an RFA at the end of this year. He will be worth a significant amount of money, but we have the cap space. And next year, Thomas Tatar, Andreas Janssen, both come off, which creates about $7 million worth of space right there. But don't forget, we also signed Damon Severson, and Ryan Graves will also be UFAs, not RFAs, UFAs. But we do have a plethora of space now. So think about it in that sense, where you may be upset that we did not get Johnny Hockey, but this leaves us open to other possibilities as well. And if Calgary lost Gaudreau, if Tkachuk really is requesting a trade, they may just go into like blow it up and redo kind of stuff.
I will say this, Scotty.
Tell me, Samu. Tell me.
In a way, from a Devils fan standpoint, your ego is a little bruised up because somebody said was using you to get more money, and then you're like, "What?"
But we didn't fall for it. We didn't fall for it. We didn't get stuck with the bill. We were like, "Nah, see what's going on here."
No, true.
True.
I'm just talking about ego wise.
Mm-hmm.
But from a financial sense, from a long-term vision sense, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm going to go to sleep just fine. Now, just remember this.
Treatment of
what's
Matthew
happening.
Tkachuk.
Think of this in the Eastern Conference, specifically the Metropolitan Division.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are on the tail end, getting old. The Washington Capitals as well.
Older.
The Islanders are, I'd like to say,
can't score.
Kind of a mess a little bit because that would have been cap hell.
They can't score. They can't score and they have no cap space.
And the Rangers had a great year last year. Columbus, I'm looking at the Metropolitan Division. Columbus just got Gaudreau. How does that pair up with Laine? Can they make it happen to have them both under contract long term? And the Flyers could be, a bottom feeder with the Devils next season. But I can't stress how awesome it is at this juncture to still have that cap space. Because at some point, when Fitzgerald wants to pivot, whether via trade for Matthew Tkachuk or start ripping off cap strap teams, potentially. I was hoping they could do that with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, I think that they should sign Palat. I like him.
He is still out there.
I think we need it. So why don't we take the Gaudreau money that would have been spent next season, $9 million, $10 million, get it. You could fit a Palat, rebuild that third line. All right. Also, you're still in the sweepstakes. Tkachuk. And if it's not now, you could wait towards trade deadline.
Yes.
You don't know how Matthew Tkachuk is going to react. He is an RFA right now. So anything's in play. You still have that cap space there. Gaudreau is not playing against your rivals. It's reported that you've tried. I think it's still a win-win-win. Now, Rob Taub,
I think so too.
On the last podcast, State of the Fan was kind of arguing, took the other side, which I respect. Like, you got to do something now. It's been a while. But in my opinion, since we've suffered so long, what is another year gonna hurt? Don't force it because the time's running out. I think
just the time is not running out. Like, we're coming into it, and remember what happened with Taylor Hall. We got this guy. This guy wants to get into the playoffs. He wants to get a shot. It didn't work because the team wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but Sam Wu, I think you're right. With the 2025, I think we're going to be a dominant. I still say we better make the damn playoffs before 2025.
It wasn't me. It was David Blitzer. He told me to be patient. Right. He was speaking to me on TV, and I thought that's where 2025 came. I was like, all right, I'll be patient. That's my deadline.
Ugly black jerseys will be gone. Our team will all be around 26, 27, 28 years old.
Hey, maybe Harrison Blitzer have already sold the team by then.
You never know. You never know. Things can happen. But I think the Devils also need to – you got to think about this as well, Devils fans. If you're upset, we still have not re-signed Jesper Bratt yet. If you signed a Johnny Hockey for about $10 million and a Jesper Bratt for maybe $6 or $7 million, That's a lot of cap space right there. Just poof, all of a sudden gone. Where we were talking about weaponizing your cap space and be able to go in there and jump in on these teams, that would put a pretty big hit into it for this season. So don't forget about that. We still have to get, Jesper Bratt re-signed, Miles Wood, Zacha is now gone. They re-signed, Gearston on a two-way. That's fine. I got no problem with that. Mason did his job just fine in like 20, 30 games last year. Keep the beef. I'm all for it. They bought out Yanni Kuokkanen, which was kind of a surprise, but it does save some money, I guess. But Yanni didn't have the greatest season last year. The one before that, you saw the chemistry with him, Sharon Govich, and Jack Hughes, but it just, I don't know what it was, but I didn't think he had a terrible season. I was actually a little shocked that he got bought out, to tell you the truth, but
I'm not.
It is what it is.
I'm not. I'll tell you the reason why. Remember how back a couple year and a half ago, you weren't sold on Sharon Govich because everybody else is like Sharon Govich. I think Kuokkanen was kind of that fit that mold. I wish him the best because I was hoping that he could really crack the Devils lineup and be that other winger, but it just simply didn't work out that way. So I thought that was a smart move because Sharon Govich beat him out. He's still on the team, and Sharon Govich had a wonderful second half of the season and got out of that funk. So that's great. That's great to see that he was able to break out of a sophomore slump mid-season and ended on a high note. So, but Kuokkanen couldn't do that.
And what's everyone saying on the old YouTube and everything, Sam Wu? Because I'm sure people, like I said, are disagreeing with me, and that's okay. It's all right to disagree.
Someone asked, Scotty, tell me what it'll take for Matthew Tkachuk, I'm assuming.
Woo! Matty Tkachuk, huh? Well, it's a good thing we got all those right-handed defensive prospects right now because I think one of them would come in handy for something like that. A Ty Smith, a Riley Walsh, what is it? Simone? Is it Simone Nemec or something like that now?
Nemitz.
I think we were saying it wrong. Nemitz. Casey. We have a lot of prospects down there now.
Brady Croft is asking, why are you disrespecting Ohio? Have you ever driven through Ohio? There's more potholes in Ohio.
I've been to Columbus for Rock on the Range plenty of times. Actually, I don't mind Ohio. Actually, I've had to stay over in Cleveland. That's about it. But I've been to Columbus a couple times for Rock on the Range, so I've always had a good time there. I wanted to get out to what's the state? The Columbus Crew, the MLS team. But obviously it was taken over by us headbangers for the weekend there that I was there. But I always had a good time. I went down by the bars that like lead you to Ohio State and stuff like that. So we had a good time every time we were in Columbus.
I hate Ohio State. That's what
I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know.
Yeah.
I know. So no, I was just remarking on how Ohio just lost Johnny Manziel and they replaced it with another Johnny Gaudreau, albeit the different city there, Columbus and Cleveland. But that's all I was saying. No disrespect whatsoever to the old Ohio. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else calling me crazy?
Let's see.
Steve Tartaz, the No Johnny Zone.
There's just so many comments. I don't even know which was. Screw Ohio.
To hell with you, Ohio! I hate your face right now. Don't forget, Johnny Gaudreau is a Flyers fan, so think about that as well. He wanted to play for the Flyers. He didn't want to play for the Devils. He wanted to play for the Flyers. When the Flyers dropped, Columbus jumped, and just be happy that Fitzy didn't overpay and was like, sure, we'll go to 10.2, you know? Like, I was texting Sam Wu and Shortsky. I was like, they were probably at that point in the negotiations where they're like, the bid is at 9.8. Do I hear 10 million? 10 million for these services of Johnny Gaudreau. Going once, going twice over here. Bid's at 9.8.
I know what happened. I know what happened.
Oh boy.
He got on the phone.
Mhm.
Hey Tommy. Before I call Louie,
Hey Tommy.
I want to ask you.
Hey Tommy. Yeah, we're gonna call Lou.
Do you think Nico is going to fork over number 13? No way in hell. All right, see ya. And then he calls Louie. He calls Louie. Louie. You don't call me Louie. You call me Mr. Lamorello. All right. Do you think we could do a switcheroo with Matty over there, number 13? It's kind of my number. I will assign you a jersey 0 through 40. You can
0 through 40.
You can pick. Yeah. Take your pick.
I can see Gaudreau on the phone with Fletcher in Philly, and he's like, Wait, you really hired Tortorella to be the coach of the team? Oh, I didn't know that. But you know what? He made it through with what's his name, Sutter, up there in Calgary, who's a little bit hard nosed as well. So Torts is obviously, I think Torts might have learned some lessons. Torts is a smart guy.
Very smart.
I think he's learned to maybe cool himself off a little bit, with the players. Be serious, but also, like I said, like old Tom Coughlin had to learn how to do. So I think Torts will do fine. I'm just joking around there. And again, we're very excited for the John Tortorella versus Philadelphia media press conferences that are coming this season. I am more than ecstatic about that. That's going to be amazing. But don't worry about Johnny Hockey. Focus in on Matthew Tkachuk, because that's who we really need. How amazing does that sound? Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, Matthew Tkachuk. Ooh. Does that sound tempting? Or how about Miles Wood, Jack Hughes, Matthew Tkachuk? Nobody will ever touch Jack Hughes out there ever again.
4th and 1. Devils trade for Matthew Tkachuk. Are they going to have a goal line stand in the no-fun zone? Hughes snaps the puck to Tkachuk. He muscles in. Touchdown, Tkachuk! Touchdown, Tkachuk! Screw you, Gaudreau!
I love it.
I don't know.
I love it. Woo! Now that sounds like a hell of a line over there. Man, you start thinking about maybe Nico and Holtz pairing up on that second. Whoa, baby! There's a whole bunch of ways they can go. But, losing out on Slafkovsky in the draft, maybe this is a way to supplement that. You'd have to give up some assets.
The power play.
No doubt. But, oh, man. It would be another world.
The power play would just, Bastian on the power play last season tells you how much the Devils need that big power forward, that with size and just have a nose in front of the net, in front of the crease to pick up those pucks. Bastian, I hope he improves on that, because that's a Randy McKay, Bobby Holik, dirty goal, blue collar goal that he was scoring last season, and change the power play a little bit. That's why I think Tkachuk is more valuable than Gaudreau in the end. Age, there's pros and cons to everything. The only cons I have with Tkachuk is you're going to have to give up so much, because he is 24 and he's going to command a big salary. So, and would Calgary be able to make a deal? I even suggested throwing the offer sheet, but the retribution behind that is, I think there's some collateral damage there. But I would just love.
Go ahead. Good.
No, I would say I would just love for Fitzgerald to give him a call again and say, look, things are different.
That's That's exactly what I was going to say, because our good friend Ray Leo and Rob Malicki over here are saying, if Tkachuk wasn't available at the draft, he isn't available now. No, but you know what? At the draft, Calgary was telling Mr. Tkachuk, yeah, we got a 9-year deal on the table for him, 10 per. How could he not say yes to this? Are you kidding me? Look at this offer.
Yeah, what do you think he's going to do? Go to Columbus?
What? Yeah. That's why he wasn't available. And we were only offering the second pick. Maybe if we put together a package now, maybe if Matthew Tkachuk's is like, well, guess what, guys? He didn't sign. I don't want to play here anymore.
Well, you know what
Much
the
like
GM
last
said.
year. Well, I mean, this is what Tkachuk was saying last year, that he wanted to be traded. Yeah. So he was happy with Johnny, but now Johnny's gone. So if he's going to hit them again.
Let me tell you why nothing has happened yet. Reading between the lines, when the GM says we don't want to do a knee-jerk reaction, not only are they in shock, but something tells me they don't even have a plan B.
They don't have a they don't have a
they don't have a plan B, because I mean, who would have thought in a million years that Johnny Hockey will go to Columbus, of all places, from Calgary, and making that type of money. Now, what is Tkachuk thinking? Only he would know what he's thinking right now. You still have Blake Coleman up there. You still have some pieces. Yeah. But you know what? It's obvious that Tkachuk could make that same money elsewhere. So why not come back to the States? Or come to New Jersey, for that matter.
Now, the other thing with him, too, is there's another team that he's got a strong affection for, and that's the St. Louis Blues, where his pops played for many years and he grew up. They may have some money to spend next season as well, which may make things a little bit difficult. So you have to be careful. I'm here just ranting and raving like a fan. Trade for Tkachuk, but he is an RFA, so he doesn't have UFA stats yet. But you would like to get him, locked up if you can, to a nice deal. Hell, throw Pickles in the bunch as well. Send old Pickles back to us too. It'll be a great story. Pickles comes round robin after winning the cup and then going out to Calgary. Then he comes back to home to the New Jersey Devils. But I would say, that's where I'm looking forward to seeing this team, because that's what we need. Johnny Gaudreau, a 29-year-old focal point of the offense. I don't know. A Matthew Tkachuk at 24, a Jack Hughes at 22, a Nico Hischier at 23. That sounds right smack in the middle. Jesper Bratt at 24.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good to me. And I want to transition a little bit, because I know we've been talking a lot about Johnny Hockey, and we got some other things to talk about. And that is, and you were saying, the power play. Well, we know that we lost both assistant coaches last year with Coach Naz and Coach Recchi. Oh, man, it just like Mark, his name just like popped out of my head there for a second. But this year, today, it was just announced that we picked up a nice little assistant coach over here who may eventually end up being the heir apparent to the head coaching position. Speaking of Andrew Burnett, former player, you all know, and I totally forgot he was on the Thrashers back in the day. I always remember from the Wild and the Avs, because he had some really good seasons with the Avs.
Was he on the BJs?
I don't remember. I just remember the Avs, the Wild, and the Blackhawks at the end. But I had totally forgotten that he was an Atlanta Thrasher at one point. So, old Kovalchuk, speaking of him. So we got Brunette coming in here. He was assistant coach with the Wild for 2 years, and then he was actually assistant GM as well, which gives him a nice little interesting insight on the players and the formation of the teams, which is really cool. And then he turned into assistant coach underneath Quenneville in like 2018 or 2019 down there in Florida. And then, of course, after the scandal last year, Quenneville steps aside, Burnett takes over, and the team goes out. What do they have? Like 109, 110 points? 108 points. I wrote it down. Of course, they got smoked by Tampa Bay, their arch rival in the second round of the playoffs. They kind of went to sleep there, but still, interim coach taking the team that far. I am really excited about this signing for the team. I think this could be something really good. I've seen a lot of other teams out there almost have like two head coaches at times. You know, a former head coach acting as an assistant. Now, Burnett obviously has been in that assistant role more than in the head coach. He was only head coach as an interim. And Florida hired Paul Maurice, which that's a nice hire by them. You know, I don't think you can go wrong with Paul Maurice, where that team is right there. But Burnett coming up here, he wanted to leave the team after he didn't get the full-time head coaching position, and rightfully so. And now he's going to be up running the show with Lindy Ruff here in New Jersey. And we have been talking about it for quite some time. You know, like who is going to replace Lindy Ruff? We know he's always going to be on the hot seat with us Devils fans. There's a lot to complain about sometimes with those game plans and the home run passes that don't work and a lot of those other things. Did we see that power play struggle? The defense struggled for a while. Coach Naz kind of cleaned it up a little bit, actually got an NFZ going, but man, we know that power play. Sam Wu, we were getting outscored on the power play. We were giving up shorthanded goals like they were jelly beans last year. Like, it was bad for a while. So bringing in Burnett, I think, is a good step in the right direction to solidify this team and, you know, get it going confidently. We need Jack. We need Nico, Jesper. We need them out there playing with confidence.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about it as well when it seemed like the Devils started simplifying their game. They weren't trying to do, you know, thinking of like 6-7 different options, just trying to get out of the zone. Just get the puck out of the zone. You know, either skate it out or find a clean pass and just get it out of the damn zone. You know, we saw when they simplified their game, they started playing a little bit better. We will see what Burnett brings to the table. But I think this is a really good hire for the team, and I think it is someone a la who we saw, Coach Hines came in. You know, he had all those years in the AHL teams with Pittsburgh. What the hell? I can't remember. Where was their farm team? I can't remember that he was coaching at so long. And he came in and took over.
Baby Pens.
Oh, was it Wilkes-Barre? Okay, yeah. But maybe Burnett now is something similar. And Lindy Ruff he's an older guy. Thinking like Terry Collins in the old Mets. TC retired. You know, he got a nice little front office job. Maybe Lindy does that. He works into more player development, upstairs, operations type of stuff. Not a bad gig. And like our buddy Tom Coughlin, he ended up in the president and operations and all that sort of stuff too. It happens. Get a little older, you know. Now they have someone in the pipeline. We talked about the pipeline of defensemen. Now you get a pipeline of head coaches as well.
Yeah.
Good hire. Good hire by Fitzy today. What do you think, Sam Wu?
You know, I think the thing about YouTube Live is I see Vinny Parisi now chiming in the chat room.
Oh!
Vinny Parisi. As soon as he pops in the chat room, everybody now wants to talk to him. They don't want to talk to us right now. I'm reading the comments. Hey, Vinny. Hey, Vinny, how are you? Hey, Vinny.
Stop trying to steal our heat, Vinny.
Yeah. Yeah. Vinny, what's your thoughts about everything today? Jim Leahy.
We love Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny, if you're listening in. Yeah. Oh, okay, Mr. Hotshot. Get one of the biggest interviews of the year.
Yeah, Vinny, get on the damn video. Get on your laptop and get in here and join us over here.
Vinny, you got your own mic and studio. Why don't you come on? Why don't you tell us how you really feel? Instead of poaching our fans.
Oh, we love Vinny. We're all of them big fans.
We're just teasing.
We're just teasing, of course, everybody. Vinny, of course, is Game Day Live. He's we've both filled in for each other. Vinny's done the Devils After Dark before. I've done some Game Day Lives. We've done them together before as well. We love our boy Vinny, and he is a smart man. He's a smart hockey man. So I think you're right. YouTube Live, for asking for Vinny's opinion, because
I got to tell you something, Scotty. So
what's that?
I'm gonna give Facebook Live some love, but I see Ramona Rice on the YouTube live.
Uh-oh.
So this is what
She's
Ramona's
switching over.
doing. No,
Mhm.
I don't call it cheating on whatever social media platform. This is really bar hopping, because the show is about three Devils fans at a bar. Well, you know, you got your Facebook bar, you got your YouTube live bar, and then you got your Twitter live bar, you got your Twitch bar,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. And she's just hopping along, be like, all right, well, you know, I had a good time with you folks at Facebook Live. I'm gonna mosey on over to YouTube Live. I'm also going to subscribe to their YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. And when I go back to
Yes.
the other bar, I'm going to like the Facebook page and follow them on Twitter Live by follow
Like
them
and
on
follows
Twitter.
and subscribes. Yeah, we love
Yeah,
those. We love those.
yeah.
We
And
appreciate
also,
it.
since we got you here, you know, if you could subscribe to our podcast pages, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and rate, review, and subscribe, you know, to our podcast. When you write a review, you know, say something nice. You know, sometimes when people put reviews,
You are inviting some creative folks to
yeah,
go out there and write reviews.
yeah,
So
we'll see
get,
we'll
get
see our
creative with
star
it over
level
there.
go down. Give us a 5
Yeah.
stars. It's kind of like Uber.
We'll
5 stars.
Let's say hi to Corey Elk and Matt Reichel and Michael Pedrosa over here. Frank Bacchiel. Best move of the day was signing a coach. I can see that.
Yeah.
Rob, Alan Moda, Steven Saharik Sr. Woo! What a name that was. Well, we also did, besides the signings of Brendan Smith, former Blue Shirt. We know about him. He's playing down in Carolina. 2-year deal, $1.1 million per. This is, you know, bottom pairing, extra defenseman kind of deal over here. The less Brendan Smith plays, much like PK Subban, the better he will do. You know, he will shine with less time. When you put him out there for too long, he's going to get exposed, and that's just all there is to it. You know, much like PK. If PK was playing, we saw he played top line minutes, he got exposed. Brendan Smith needs to be playing on those bottom pairing extra defensemen, which I think he'll be able to fit in, you know, quite nicely. It gives a veteran presence back there. Only $1.1 million, so it's really not a bad deal for 2 years. Like we said, Fitzy, he don't like those long-term deals for these older players. He's not too happy with those. So 2 year for Brendan Smith, 33. And then probably the biggest news of the day, Devils-wise, is there was a trade. And our favorite number 6 overall selection, Pavel Zacha, has been sent up north to the Boston Bruins for Eric Haula, center, left wing, who has bounced around from a bunch of different teams, and essentially he's kind of the same player as Pavel Zacha. Maybe a little bit more consistent, honestly, but he does have some health problems, does get dinged up. He had 55 points with Vegas. That was his best season the year that the Golden Knights went to the Cup. 44 points last year with the Boston Bruins, playing sporadically on that second line as a center. So I can see him sliding into the third line, you know, I don't know, maybe jumping up to the second at some point. We'll see how well he puts the puck in the net and how he fits in with the team. Obviously, he's not going to take over the center position on the second line because that will be Mr. Nico Hischier. But he might fit in very nicely as that third line center or winger, much like Zacha. They're very, very similar. I think Pavel Zacha was just too inconsistent. And for his draft position, we talked about this the other day, the number 6 overall, the expectations were just higher. For the organization, for the fans, we expected more out of Pavel Zacha. We didn't expect him to be a middle 6 to bottom 6. We expected him to be a middle to top 6. You know, we thought this was going to be one of our big centers to be playing, to be putting the puck in the net, to also be putting the assists up there, you know, having those consistent 50 to 60 point kind of seasons. And he hasn't even come close to that. So he's traded up to Boston, where you know what? He can move into that bottom 6 role, be on the third line. Maybe if there's injuries, he can bounce up to the second here and there for a little while. But I think also just moving him away from New Jersey and the expectations of that being that 6th overall pick in that draft. Sam, well, we were talking the other night that some people had Zacha that year scout at number 1 overall. So it's a lot of pressure sometimes on players. We've seen Pavel maybe, I don't know, not really take to that too much. Up in Boston, well, we'll see what happens with Pastrnak. He might be out the door. Krejci was out the door, right? Didn't someone, or no. Who am I thinking of? Someone else maybe got signed today. But either way, there may be some big changes in Boston. We'll see. But if he can slot in on that third line role, people aren't automatically looking at him as third line for a number 6 overall pick. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, like I think it'll do him wonders. Do I think he's ever going to be like a 30-goal scorer? No. But he might be able, if he can find some consistency in his game, he might get to that 20-goal year a mark. But I wouldn't expect anything too much for him. But I think in Boston, that's okay, because you have some other superstars in there that really take up the spotlight. And he can play in multiple positions, and multiple times on ice, different times on ice, different scenarios. That's what I'm looking for, whether it's offense, defense, power play, penalty kill. He is a versatile player, I'll give him that. And he's definitely an NHL caliber player, but he just never developed into that stud that we all thought we were getting with Pavel Zacha. And I think in the long run, this will be the best thing for him. He'll be able to go up there, and if it doesn't work for him in Boston, then who knows? Maybe he'll go back and he'll play overseas. I hear Jaromir Jagr is looking for defensemen, and he's trying to get an NHL contract. So good for Jaromir. Sign him up, 50-year-old Jaromir. He's probably still doing laps at the ice rink every single night, for like 3 or 4 hours. So, but I think it'll be great for Zacha, and if we can get a healthy Haula, I think they just kind of flip-flop each other, and I think it might be a good case scenario for both sides. Haula could then go out there and maybe play with some younger talent and see what he can do, and like we said, Zacha maybe is a little bit more hidden, not really in the forefront. Don't have to. He only scored 18 goals this year, no big deal. For us, it's like, only 18? Come on, Pavel. What the hell? Put the puck in the... Shoot, kid, shoot. You heard us all season. He would hang on to the puck too long. He would make that extra pass. He just didn't have that confidence sometimes that you look for in your top 6 players. I mean, at times he could, though. He, like the previous season, I had him as the team MVP. And then last season, he just went back to being inconsistent Pavel. And I wish nothing but the best for him. I know his teammates love him. Nico was IGing about him before I saw. So, those guys are close in the locker room. They're all coming up together as these draft picks, as this, this new team, trying to build this new dynasty. We got to win one first. Oh, yeah. But, what we're going here with it. So it sucks that it didn't work out for him, but I wish him all the best. And Erik Haula hopefully can bring a little bit more of that veteran presence and maybe that veteran calmness to the team, which I think may be a great find. And again, it's only 2 years left on his contract, right? Or is it next year? No, he's got 2 years. 2 years left on his contract.
I think it's just one.
Oh, is it just one? Is it just one this year? Is it just this one?
I think he's going to be unrestricted. I think. I don't know.
I can look at that right now.
But it really doesn't matter because they
you
have
are correct.
to rebuild that third line, and I think you could put Palat anywhere. He's very effective, and he's kind of a really clutch player. So that third line needs to be rebuilt. You still need that sniper.
Almost forgot about Igor. Yeah, I mean we're gonna see what's going on with Mr.
Yeah.
Holtz.
Well, people are asking questions.
I'm just thinking about that now. Jack, Igor, Tkachuk. Woo! And then Holtz, Bratt, Nico. Woof! Woof! And we didn't even mention Dawson Mercier. Oh man.
A lot of assets.
A
lot of assets.
It's nice. It's nice. But yeah, who's up there? Let's answer a couple questions and we'll wrap it up so we can finish up this edition of the Old Devils After Dark with the free agent Fugazi over here. Johnny, what there is going on? Hey, oh wait, Johnny Sandwich. I don't know.
Michael Pedrosa.
Yeah.
Michael Pedrosa said the areas should concentrate on defense still. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, special teams. That's where the assistant coaches, are going to come in. I thought the Devils did a lot of little things that they needed to get done. They did a lot of low-hanging fruit things. You got an assistant coach. You traded Pavel Zacha away. You brought somebody to help that third line. You already tested the free agent market with a superstar like Gaudreau. You also
found an extra defenseman.
Yeah. I thought the Devils had a busy
anymore, right?
Yeah. I thought the Devils had a very good, solid day that, behind the scenes, this is what builds a team. I mean, it's not just Johnny Gaudreau and you're all in and then that's it. No, I mean, he's part of the, people like him are like the part of the process. But right now we don't have that person. So, we do have cap space, thankfully. Be thankful of your cap space where you can get a Palat, and suddenly your team's starting to fill out there. And, could the Devils make a trade if it's not Tkachuk to somebody else? Tarasenko's name's been, out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need cap space to get these players. It's a double, but, some people are anxious. Spend now. Don't be a bunch of El Cheapos, and the reality is don't force it either. But exactly. I will say, though, if the goaltending improves, because remember what people in the media have been saying, that they're one goaltender away, Mr. Wu. No, I say baloney. Otherwise, if they were truly one goaltender away, they wouldn't be making like these kind of, vying for Gaudreau. They wouldn't be making, all these offers, or proposals, to bring players here. They're more than just a goalie away. But I think if you can improve in each position, goaltending, defense, offense, the forwards, some team chemistry, the special teams, but also be disciplined and consistent, that's a big win. You don't need Johnny Gaudreau to do all that. You don't. That's the reality. Yeah. Hockey is truly a team sport. And that's why Scotty and myself were a little nervous with that $10 million mark. Because it's a team sport. You got to get Connor McDavid has not won the Stanley Cup. Austin Matthews have not. Because they need a supporting cast around him. You saw what the Tampa Bay Lightning did.
John Tavares hasn't.
Yeah. You need to have a team.
You need
concept.
A supporting cast. You really do. Yeah. So
and think about what Colorado did. Trying to get everybody under.
And look at Tampa Bay now. They did a great job of resigning everyone that they possibly could have from that team. They had to let a couple people go, but they did a really good job getting as many as they could under contract. Who's saying what? Go ahead.
No, Ramona. Okay, Ramona. You know how I talked about bar hopping? Well, this is why she's bar hopped to YouTube Live, because the bouncer threw her out at Facebook Live for 6 days.
Uh-oh.
So she migrated over to YouTube Live. I hope you're subscribing to us, Ramona, on the YouTube Live. And
Either or is fine with us.
Yeah. This bar she's at for the next few days. So okay.
You're always welcome.
Yeah.
You're always welcome over here.
And I appreciate the dedication. Moving to
Absolutely.
another bar instead of just like, I'm not going to listen to them for 6 days.
Who else is going to be talking Devils hockey like this on a night like this? Come on. This is what we do, Sam Wu. This is what we do.
Are we back
all day
tomorrow?
long? Great coverage. I mean, if there's a big trade, then we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
let's go over the scheduling for Thursday night, 9 p.m.
we got to find out all the next big hockey days and we were supposed to talk about development camp. I didn't even get to watch any of that today, actually. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do a development camp one some point. We'll see. It's late for Sam Wu. I can see Sam getting a little tired over there. Getting a little tired.
Yeah, I've been up.
Getting a little sleepy.
I
actually little Betty
spent last night. I actually prepared, because of all the rumors of Johnny Gaudreau, I actually prepared this awesome thing for the podcast of breaking news with Johnny Gaudreau. Like, it had the graphics, it had everything, it had the great
Sam just wanted to play Johnny Be Good from Back to the Future, and if he did that,
that's all
Facebook would have shut down our podcast within 2 seconds.
No. I manipulated the digital watermark, so they wanted.
Oh, even better. Yeah. So then the FBI will come for us afterwards as well. So even better. Yeah. Good thing to admit. Live on the air, Sam Wu.
No. They'd be sent to.
That watermark. I just manipulated it. Don't worry, it's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that over there. That's fine.
Be like, Daddy, why are they taking? I don't know, honey. I don't know. Why the policeman taking you?
It's a watermark.
Nikki, get me out of this. And then he's back on air.
Yeah. Let's not admit to manipulating any more watermarks while we're live, please.
Anyway, actually, it didn't happen though. Thank you, Johnny Gaudreau.
Thank you, Johnny Gaudreau, for saving this podcast. Little did you know. But no, thank you, Devils fans, for being with us. We have been seeing all of your support in all the numbers that have been coming through with the downloads and the likes and subscribes and the comments. We cannot thank you enough. We know, just like us, we're starved for Devils content. That's why we started this whole podcast. We said there's nothing out. Well, let's just do it ourselves. We are glad that you have come along and, we've become a big family here, and that we can come together as Devils fans in the season, outside of the season, to talk about our favorite team when things go, hey, I was happy with today, but a lot of other people I know weren't. So this is a space for that, where you can vent and you can talk about good things. Be nice to each other, though, okay? But this is a good place for all Devils fans to come. You can hang out with me, Scotty, and Devils After Dark with Sam Wu. We got the big show on Sunday, State of the Fan Address with Nick Villano that was just happening earlier. Our boy, Vinny Parisi, he does the Game Day Live as well, the pregame show. Devils After Dark is really the postgame show, and we're just doing some specials here as the offseason goes along with all the big dates that are happening, so we can talk Devils hockey. So just want to thank you again, whether you're listening on the commute in the morning or you are up late at night on the East Coast for True Devils After Dark. A big thank you for hanging out with us.
Well said. You like the timing?
Very good.
The music. Yeah.
Very nice.
Again, I want to reiterate that. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, depending upon what happens, but there will always be a Will report as a placeholder. If not. Till next time.
Maybe development camp Devils After Dark. We'll see.
Yeah. Till next time, let's go Devils.